What is up, guys? How's it going? Zach Ginn here, and we are live. Welcome. In today's video, I'm going to break down actually how to pull free niche lists in your real estate wholesaling business. So this is a really fun one. This is a heavily requested video, I would say, of people wanting to know how to pull niche lists, which is a heavily requested video, but how to do it for free. And in this video, I'm going to break down all of my favorite free niche lists and exactly how to actually find them. This is a really exciting one, guys. So before we get into it, remember, you guys already know the drill if you watch any of my stuff. Smash that like button. And don't forget to subscribe. Also, comment a question you got for me. I'm always here to answer all the questions you got. And I am really excited for this one, guys. So remember, guys, niche list. So what is a niche list? A niche list is, the reason why I'm so into niche lists is because a niche list is a list in real estate wholesaling for us to find potential motivated sellers where it's a smaller list, but that means less wholesalers are actually going after it, which if you're in a saturated market like I am, where we got to compete with so many wholesalers on every single real estate wholesaling deal, we want to get the best advantage possible, and we want to get lists that nobody else is targeting. And that's why in this video, it's pretty exciting, but I'm going to show you actually how to pull these secret lists that are niche, that will give you the best chance of getting wholesaling deals so you don't have to deal with competition. You do a lot of marketing strategies with this, so it's really exciting. So first of all, code violations. So code violations are one of my favorite niche lists out there, and really because it's a free list, and this is free niche lists. So pretty big shocker for you guys here, but niche lists are amazing. But code violations, I've gotten so many deals when I started out, when I absolutely didn't have much money in real estate wholesaling. So it's definitely a lifesaver. I'm definitely always going to be promoting code violations as a niche list because they're so great. The way for you to pull them absolutely for free is go to your local code enforcement office or a code compliance office and try to actually pull that list. And the way you pull it is you call and ask for all open code violations with tall grass, structural damage, debris. There's certain keywords on there, and that's where you can actually pull the code violation list. It's one of the best ones out there, and I've gotten so many deals, and it's a really good cold calling list. But also for SMS text blasting, it's really good. Direct mail is decent on it, but cold calling is my absolute favorite one on there. So it's really fun, guys. The next one that not a lot of people talk about, which a little bit of a shocker for me, but hey, whatever, is fire damage properties. Now, I have two listed here on fire damage properties, and I'm going to share with you why it's like this. So fire damage properties is a kind of what the thing says. If a property is damaged and it literally went on fire, we can actually wholesale those deals for really good money. Also, the seller's getting insurance checks. So usually they're not really associated with the property too much, not much emotional connection because the property is pretty much charred down. Not the best way to explain it, but yes, kind of is. And from there, they're not willing to get much, and you can get a really good discount and usually sell to a builder really easily. So the cool part about this list is you can actually pull it for free using two methods. So method number one is through Facebook, and you can actually go to your local, or maybe if you're doing virtual wholesaling, you can actually find your market that you want to do, let's say Alameda County or something crazy like that. Go to their fire department page, and usually they'll post something like on the 1200 block of Johnstonville Avenue here in Nashville, this property went on fire. They'll show a picture of it. What you can do is you can actually make it your little Excel sheet and say 1200 block, Nashville Avenue, and you'll go, I'm saying the thing wrong, but then you can go there and actually pull up 1200 block on Google Maps, find the actual picture of it, say, oh shoot, it was that orange house right there. It's right next to the purple one. Okay, no, that one. Let's put it down there. And no other wholesaler is doing this, and you can absolutely get a lot of fire damage properties doing that. So it's one of the best ones when you actually can't pull that fire damage property list. It's really crazy, but it's absolutely amazing. That's not my favorite way to actually pull fire damage properties for a free niche one. Mine is the Excel method. Now, what's the Excel method on actually pulling this fire damage property ones? So the Excel method is actually pulling these from a Google Excel. And what do I mean by a Google Excel there? So the way that I actually get a lot of really good results is I'll actually call my local fire department office, build a rapport, build a connection with these people, and then from there, ask if I can actually get all the fire properties that went on fire in the county for the past month. And then I'll go cold call that list, attack that list, reverse drive for dollars. I'll do whatever I can all in there to actually get the deal done. And it's a little harder to do, but once you can break through and actually get it and keep calling, threaten to do a FOIA act if you have to. It's free public information. I pay a fortune in property taxes. I am privy to this information. So as a public citizen and a tax-paying citizen, you have the right for it. So that's what I'd recommend there. Fire damage properties, that's what I'd be doing. Next, here's water shutoffs. I absolutely love the water shutoff list. And the water shutoff list is one of the best ones out there. So what's the water shutoff list? Pretty self-explanatory here is when the water gets shut off, or we can put utilities in here if you really want to too. But when someone stops paying their water bill, there's a list. And if you've lived without water, during a hurricane or something like that, it's very hard to live in a property without water or electricity for that matter too. But water's a lot more harder because no plumbing. Not the best thing out there. So what I would say is water shutoff lists are great. No one's usually living in that property, which means that property is just sitting there. We can contact the homeowner and get that property wholesaled for a really good price. So how do I pull the water shutoff list for free? Go to your local city utility department, or maybe even have a water department if they're big enough, and ask them for all the water shutoffs for the last month. They might be fighting you on this one, but I promise you keep contacting them. They will give in to you, and they will actually give you the water shutoff list. And it's a really good list to get, one of the best ones out there. And if you contact them, you'll do very well. Seen some of the comments here. What is up, guys? How's it going? Sweet, sweet, sweet. All right. Credit card debt list. That's the next one here. So the credit card debt list, part of my niche lists, it's a court list. It's not one that a lot of wholesalers talk about because a lot of wholesalers don't actually know how to pull these, or these gurus on YouTube. So the credit card debt list is basically a list you can actually get from your local courthouse of people who are behind on credit card, or they put a lien on the property or a lien on the person for credit card debt. And you can actually find that person and actually contact them. That's my favorite. It's one of my favorite SMS ones actually to do. It's a really good one. So credit card debt list is one of the best ones out there. Next one here is actually go to the clerk of the court to actually pull this list. It's absolutely killer. It's one of my favorite ones out there. It's the credit card debt list. It's a really good one, guys. So wholesaling sub twos. This is my next one. And wholesaling subject to properties it's a really good one. I'm going to be honest with you here. So wholesaling subject twos is a niche that getting more popular. A lot more people are knowing about subject twos now, but really wholesaling subject twos is a niche that if you're in a smaller market, no one really knows much about. So if you can understand, go to YouTube University, learn actually how to get a subject to under contract, you can wholesale that to your cash buyers and maybe get deals that a lot of wholesalers aren't actually getting. So wholesaling subject twos is another one you can do. Wholesaling lease options is another one you can do if you understand lease options or if it's legal in your state. I know you can't do that in Texas, I believe, but everywhere else is pretty much free game. So it's pretty cool there. Next one here is mobile homes. Mobile home wholesaling is absolutely amazing, and it's definitely a niche list. You could pull it maybe from the tax code, or was it the tax roll list? That's where you can actually find mobile homes or actually find land from there. So mobile homes is another list you can go after to find the mobile homes and wholesale them, because maybe not a lot of wholesalers are going after them. I know listREI.com, they give a 7-day free trial on there. You can actually go and get mobile homes, but just be careful because after 7 days, it's not free. So this is a free video only. So mobile homes, you can actually knock on doors and get a free niche list on mobile homes. And that's probably what I do. Or do like a reverse driving for dollars where you put a sticky note on the mobile home that maybe is distressed and try to wholesale there. Guys, mobile homes are not worth a lot of money, but you can still make $10,000, $15,000 on a wholesale deal from a mobile home. So I absolutely love those things. Next here is driving for dollars. Is it free? You got to pay gas money. Let's say walking for dollars or biking for dollars. And you can actually start getting lists like that for your driving for dollars. And it's absolutely one of my favorite ones out there. So drive for dollars. It's a great list. It's a list that no other wholesaler is really getting. So I'm a big fan of it. I absolutely love driving for dollars. And I think driving for dollars should be making more of a comeback. So that's just my personal opinion. So I think driving for dollars, you guys keep hammering it. You guys could do very well there. So driving for dollars is one of my favorite ones out there. So that you just get in your car, look for properties that are distressed, maybe ones that look dilapidated or it needs a lot of work. that's probably where I would be closer to. So that's kind of what I'd recommend here. And then the next one here is land. Land is really cool. It's a niche that I absolutely love and adore, and I will keep talking good about land wholesaling deals forever. I absolutely love land deals. I think if you get into land wholesaling and you actually know it and you learn it and you get really good at it, you can absolutely sweep and destroy in your market. So finding land is pretty easy. I mean, if you can get a tax roll list, that's the best one to do. ListREI.com, again, 7-day free trial. You can actually go in there and do it. That's what I'd recommend for land, but it's 7 days free. But if you want to get the full, all of them, you get connected with someone that maybe has access to a list pulling service for land, or you can basically just try to look it up or find code violations of the land or code violations of mobile homes. That's how I'd be pulling these if you can't have like a list pulling service. Tired landlords is my next favorite one. And I love the tired landlord list. I actually have some videos on it. It's pretty good. So tired landlords, basically the way you do it is go on Zillow and do the for rents and then go to the really, really old for rents one. And then let's just make sure. Okay, so yeah, okay, just making sure I got my notes here. So yes, you do go on Zillow and you go to the for rent. Was it 6 months I was doing? It's actually 12 months. That's what I wrote down here. So we'll stick to that one, but you can do 6 months, I guess, too. Hopefully I don't get in trouble with that. But you can actually do from 6 to 12 months, some old for rent ones. Hopefully the rent never got done, or maybe it's the new one where someone just got their tenant kicked out and they actually want to put it back for rent. Maybe they just want to sell it all for cash and get rid of it and they don't have to deal with it anymore. So that's a cool one. Tired landlords is one of my favorite ones out there. So Zillow, for rent, the older ones, absolutely one of the best ones out there. So that's what I would say. Divorce. So divorce is a really good one. It's part of the government list or a court list to what I would say. So what is a government list? A government list is basically a list you can absolutely get from the government for free. One of my favorite ones out there, the code violations, the probates, the divorce lists, even a tax roll list or the water shaw's list or government lists. But a court list is a list from court records that you can pull and actually go contact these people. Cold calling is one of the best ones out there for it, but there's a million other things you can do. So the divorce list is really good. So all you really got to do is go to the clerk of the court. Wait, let me just make sure. Make sure our feed's working here. We keep getting multiple like people trying to talk. Okay. Yes, it's working. Okay. So you can actually get going on this and find your divorce list. So the divorce list is really cool. So all you really got to do is go to the clerk of the court, search divorce on there, or go to the divorce cases on there. And then from there, you can actually pull the people that are going through divorce. The issue with divorces is either the husband wants to sell for a discount, or and the wife wants to sell for a crazy high price, or the wife just wants to get rid of the property and the husband wants to go with this crazy realtor. They're new dating, and then there's always problems with the relationship, and that they bring it on you, and it's a he said, she said type thing on there. So I would be very, very wary when it comes to that. But divorces are good, not good, but those lists are actually pretty decent. So that's probably what I would say. So let's go here. All right. So the next one here is I'm trying to pull up my notes here. So I think my internet got a little glitchy today, so I don't know why, but sorry guys. But probates is one of my favorite ones out here. So what I would say with a probate is the clerk of the court. I mean, probates where I get my best deals possible on here. So probates. So you go to the clerk of the court, you go to probates, you actually pull. Okay. So if you're new into probates, there's a lot of different things you can actually do on it. So the number one thing when probates is you want to contact, when someone unfortunately passes away, you want to contact the heirs, not the actual person that passed away. I mean, you can't really talk to them. So what you want to do from there is actually find the heirs, which will be on the clerk of the court. So you go to the clerk of the court, search. You'll find that John Smith unfortunately passed away, and then Sally Sue is the heir or the daughter. What you want to do is pull their information, get their mailing address, and then from there, you can actually talk to them, cold call them, send some direct mail out, and then from there, you can actually contact them. So Probates, it's one of my favorite ones out there. It's a free list. I don't recommend buying this data. It's one of my favorite ones out there. Last one here is liens. I love lien lists. Lien lists are great. They're not the most niche out there, but they're pretty good. And honestly, there's worse. So that's probably what I would say. So the tax lien list is one of my favorite ones. Basically, you stop paying your taxes. Someone puts a lien on the property. Usually, if you're not paying your taxes, you don't have a lot of money, or you don't have a lot of money to put repairs on the property. You just want to get rid of it for cash. And that's where you make the most money possible. So tax lien list, again, you go to the clerk of the court and find it. It's really, really good. And what I'm saying here is I recommend that you guys try. Hold on. Yeah. So I do recommend you guys, when you pull these niche lists, if you're doing it for free, it's very hard to cold call for free using a dialer. So you're probably gonna have to use like a Google Voice or something like that. So that's how I actually would cold call if I had absolutely no money at all. If you want to test out a dialer, or you actually get a lot of lists, you can do batch dialer. So guys have heard I've actually switched over from ZenCall to batch dialer because of the new Trace Act. And I wanted you guys to get a 7-day free trial and try dialers out. So if you guys pulled a really big list and want to test it out, that's probably what I'd recommend. But I would say you guys need to cold call these lists. SMS will work. You can use smszach.com. I don't mind it, but I still think cold calling is still one of the best ones out there. So if you have no money, Google Voice is one of the best ones out there. I don't know how they're going to change with the Trace Act. So I'm switching everything over from ZenCall, which is an international company. So they're going to be weirder about it. So, and there's international sales fees and stuff. And they were great because they had a 12-line dialer, but really with the new Trace Act, a 3-line dialer is the max you can have. And Mojo is just not the best for me. So I switched over to batch dialer. So go to batchdialer.com/Zach. I think that's where you get a free trial. Try out the dialing system out there. But pretty cool. So let's get into some of the questions here on niche lists and see what I can do to help you guys out. So Rick Perez says, looks like another good stream. I really appreciate it, Rick. You're the man. K Latte says, hey, Zach, how's it going? How's it going? Zach, would you consider driving for dollars a niche list? This is a really good question. So is driving for dollars a niche list? I would call it a niche list because your driving for dollars list is a list that nobody else has. What do I mean by this? If you go my market right now and do a drawing for dollars, there's a really high chance that I don't have that on my marketing list. I'm not cold calling them. I'm not SMS blasting them. I'm not, sending like my direct mail out to them. There's a really big chance that you don't have that. And that means it's pretty niched out. So I would consider drawing for dollars a niche lists. It's not a free list because you got to put gas money into it, but really cheap stuff, guys. So I would say it is a niche list, and I absolutely love drawing for dollars. So yes. What's up, Ben? How's it going? How are you, man? Wishing the best for all of you guys out there. Hey, Zach, off topic, but do you need a proof of funds letter to wholesale in Alabama? I don't think so. I'll talk to the flip man and ask him because he's the Alabama guy, but I don't believe so. Justin, what's up? Always showing the support here. Thank you so much, Justin. You're the man. I really appreciate the support you give on the channel. Kevin says, thank you for all the information. Guys, you are absolutely the best, guys. I truly appreciate it. Jose says, which is better, pulling tax delinquent list from PropStream or directly from the county? They're charging me $250. I mean, PropStream's $97 a month. So I would say listrei.com, listrei.com. So that's probably what I would say. Listrei.com. That's what I recommend. It's on the bottom there. It's one of the best ones out there. So that's kind of what I would say. Let's go check this. All right. So depends how cool, like how big of a list is that? So $97 is per month, but if you get the whole county, Jose, let me know what county you're in. I'm trying to remember, Jose, because I do have a lot of people I remember here, but if it's like a huge county, that might actually be worth it. Let me know. I remember I asked you to comp my house, bro, and you didn't. Can you comp it for me, bro? I need the address, dude. Send me an address in the comments here. I'll get it done, dude. Hey, Zach, if you had $10,000 cash to start wholesaling, what would you do to get your first deal and a couple in the pipeline? Okay, so 10 grand's a lot of money. So if I said I had no money, I'd pull these niche lists and start cold calling on Google Voice. Now I get some more money. I'd start scaling up the cold calling until I have money for direct mail. So what I would say is 10K to start in wholesaling, pretty decent. So Sergio, I need to know what market you're in again. If bandit signs work in your market, I would recommend getting into bandit signs. If they don't, I would probably do my favorite one. So I would drive for dollars for 3 hours a day, cold call for an extra 2 or 3 hours a day. Then from there, you got 6 hours. And then for 2 hours, I'd use that money to actually do some direct mail on probates and actually cold call those probates. And then keep going until you actually start pulling some more direct mail pieces. I just think spending $5,000 on direct mail might be a little too risky if you only had 10 grand. So I would spend 2 grand to get a deal. Make sure you actually get your knowledge up like that. Now, the reason why I'm assuming, because if you start out in wholesaling, the reason why I like cold calling is the reason why I got so good at cold calling. Like I was a beast at cold calling because I started cold calling like crazy. And starting out cold calling, I started putting hours and hours in talking to sellers, which was free training for me. So I was finding motivated sellers. I was actually doing free training for myself, cold calling all those hours where I was really good on the appointment. So it was a win-win-win for me. So I would say do the cold calling, get good, and actually like build those systems out. And actually, I would obviously scale it up. That's probably what I would do. Georgia says, why mobile homes? I actually like mobile homes because in my personal opinion, I think mobile homes are not being used a lot by other wholesalers. I don't know why, but we've wholesaled a couple mobile homes in the past month or two. And I mean, not a crazy amount because the mobile home deals aren't like, we don't have that many mobile homes in Euros, but they're really good and they're really niched out. And I wish more new wholesalers got into it because cheaper housing is kind of the future of wholesaling in the future, in my opinion. So I think mobile homes is really killer right now. I think more people should really get into it. That's my personal opinion. So JM says, got the notebook out. That's sweet. Let's see here. Yo, what is up? What is up, man? How are you? What is up? Guys, keep going with the comments. I'm loving it. Hey, Zach, would you say it's best way to start a cold call? Okay. The best way to call a probate is not saying it's a probate. It's like Fight Club. The first rule of Fight Club, you don't talk about Fight Club. You don't talk about the probate. You talk about the actual person and seeing if they want to have a property they want to sell. Make it seem like you just, unbeknownst, stumbled on the fact that it was a probate, and not that you're just saying this, hey, like this is how most wholesalers do it. Hey, Austin, I saw your grandma died here, and I want to buy her property. You're going to get, no, they're just going to hang up on you and block you. If you say, hey, Austin, this is Zach. Are you the owner of 123 Main Street? Well, not really. Kind of. I mean, why are you calling it? Oh, I see here that you're the owner here. Are you possibly looking to sell the property? Wow, this is kind of weird. I mean, yeah, I'm trying to sell. I'm not the owner, but what do you mean you're not the owner? And then you just had that conversation about the probate. Seems like they kind of stumbled on it, and it's really good marketing, and it gives you better results through the probates than if you're just saying, hey, I saw your grandma died, I'm trying to buy your house. Not the best one to go out there cold with. So that's how we get a lot of good deals with our probates. How do you address the dead family member issue? I don't know why I'm laughing at that, but it just seems very blunt and I like it. To be frank with you, man, struggle no be more. The dead family member issue is you're just got to be show empathy. One of the most important skills you can have in wholesaling is empathy. And I think the more empathy you have with a probate situation, the better results you're going to get and the more money you're going to make in wholesaling. So I think empathy is huge. I think if you just show empathy that unfortunately a family member passed away, show that you care. Don't show sympathy, show empathy. Huge difference between the two. Sympathy, you don't care. Empathy, you do. Remember the difference between the two, and you'll do very well. So show sympathy, do that in your life in general, and you'll have way better results in everything. So Stay in School TV says, Zach, I have Zen Call. Would you recommend I switch because the new law passed? You don't have to switch. If you use Zen Call, I've said this before, they have a terrible user interface. It's very hard for someone that's not advanced on there to actually use it. We have pretty advanced systems, so it worked for us really well. But with the Trace Act, you really can't get away with more than a 3-line dialer. And I mean, I only Zen Call because it was a 12-line dialer, and we had a lot of phone numbers. So we're switching over to 3-line dialer. It's got a better user interface. It's a lot easier for beginners, and it's just a better one for us, especially when we're doing more in-house cold calling. We're testing a lot of stuff out, but really the batch dialer, I've tested it out. I was on the fence on the two. And if I didn't have a big system, I'd probably be on batch dialer like a month or two ago. But with the Trace Act, it kind of made things go a little faster with everything. So we're switching it over. And I'm not scared of Uncle Sam or the government, but I know the people at batch pretty well. And they will ensure that I don't get in trouble with the government when it comes to the Trace Act. I don't know about Zen Call. Zen Call is a Canadian company, and that could cause some issues because they're not caring more about the U.S. laws than an actual United States company, because batches butts on the line if they're not compliant with all the laws. So that's why I kind of switched it over from there. Reason why I did SMS, because SMS was a lot more risky than cold calling, and now cold calling is getting a lot more risky with the Trace Act. So we're switched everything over, and I'll tell you our results. I think it'll be really good, but we're only doing a 3-line dialer from there, and we're setting up with our system right now. So it'll be really cool, really exciting. Let's see here. Thank you, Zach. Thanks, RK. I really appreciate the support. You guys, you're the man. You always comment on our stuff. I truly appreciate it. You're a go-giver, man. I really appreciate it. Wayne here, Zach, driving while watching. Sweet. That's awesome. Luke says, you see Batch Leads as a new direct mail campaign button. I saw that. Very interesting. I got to do some more research on that. Direct mail, we kind of keep that separate from the other businesses we do. I mean, the type of other marketing. So we did SMS with Batch, and now we're switching our cold calling through Batch, and we always had skip tracing with it. Direct mail, we do so much direct mail that we get the cheapest rate you could ever get. So because we do so many, we've negotiated such a good deal with direct mail and the carriers and the postal service. So probably not the best for our business, but for newer, I really got to do some more research on it. I mean, it took me 2 months of solid research on Badge Dialer before I kind of made the switch because of the Trace Act stuff. So where can I get a proof of funds, or how can I use my cash buyer's proof of funds with my seller? Use it as proof that you can actually get deals bought. And the best proof of funds is the best way is not getting a proof of funds actually asked for you. Everyone's like, oh, show me your proof of funds or whatever. I mean, I've never been called out for proof of funds when I was 17, 18, 19 years old because I had so much confidence and rapport built that it never even came up. So be careful the way you're actually approaching your sellers. That might be a reason why your proof of funds is going out like that and they're asking for it. I would recommend that you just talk to your sellers more and use that proof of funds you got from your cash buyer. Show that you and your partner are actually doing really well with it. And that's sort of what I'd say. Sergio says, I'm in Chicago. Yeah. Try $4 and cold calling would probably be the best combo. Philip says, I am blown away at what you keep putting out for content. Can't believe it took so long for me to find your channel. Everything I've been needing to see here, get past the real hurdles. Philip, you are absolutely a beast. Thank you so much. Honestly, the support you guys have been giving this channel has been nothing short of absolutely amazing and grateful. It's been an amazing journey. I'm so grateful for the amount of people that actually watch this stuff and give me comments so I'm not here alone talking about this stuff. So it's pretty cool. You guys are absolutely amazing. So yes, I do a video basically every single day here. So it's kind of crazy. I do so many live streams and, I don't charge a dime for it. And most wholesalers and gurus would quit because they're not willing to take this, or they don't give this. They give some free value and then they'll go, create a course and then like make a paywall behind them. I've seen some gurus do that. We don't do that. So kind of where we're at. Appreciate it, Philip. What is your 30-second elevator pitch door to door for someone who's tax delinquent on their property? Hey, Kenneth, how's it going? Are you the owner here at this property? Okay. Are you looking to possibly sell the property? You don't know? Well, my name's Zach. I'm actually going around the neighborhood here, and we've actually bought a couple properties near you. I actually bought 123 Main Street over there, 2 months, whatever it is, like 2 months ago. And I'm actually looking around the area. I actually really like this neighborhood. And I was just looking around to see if any of the neighbors here are looking to sell the property. Possibly. Why you should go with me? Well, I mean, we're buying properties cash here, and I'm a pretty no-nonsense guy. If you're looking to sell it, let's have a conversation. That's my 30-second elevator pitch. I was doing like a door-to-door door knocking thing on there. We buy so many properties in Port St. Lucie. If I door knock on someone, there's a 95% chance within a quarter mile I've bought a property, actually all cash. I can show a deed the past 6 months. So that's my pitch. You asked what my personal pitch was. So that's the pitch that I'll actually do. If you wholesale the property and your partner dealt with it, you can actually say that too. Or you just say you're just looking to buy a property cash. That's kind of what my 30-second pitch would be without even thinking, just going. Because I think it's more important to actually have action and actually going and doing the action than anything else. So those tax delinquency ones with that little niche list on there, that's probably what I'd recommend. Yes, but remember, listrei.com, listrei.com, has a built-in Drawing for Dollars app in there for free. So that's what I do. You can use PropStream for skip tracing, but I still like batch on it. So I'd be careful with that. But I think you choose one. I think PropStream is the best one out there because it's got everything. You can do the list pulling and the Drawing for Dollars, or just do Deal Machine, skip trace with batch, and then cold call with batch dial. That's probably what I would do. Just wholesale a land deal 2 weeks ago. I watched your video on land wholesale and did it. Woo! That's awesome. I love it when people watch my free stuff and they actually go implement it like they actually paid money for the course, because this is like, I'm telling you, Facebook user here, because I don't think he granted access to the software for he's in my wholesaling house for real Facebook group, but wholesaling houses for real. If you guys want to join that Facebook group, the largest wholesaling mastermind in the country, but it's also free. It's a free wholesaling course in there too. But I'm telling you guys, the content and the value I give for free is the same as a $10,000 mastermind. I promise you that. And these people are going actually looking at the free information I give, which is the same as a $10,000 course, because I literally don't want money from you guys, and you guys are implementing it and you're getting results. Oh, shocker. You actually write down and you actually put effort into what I say, and you guys are getting results. You guys will pay $10,000 and then actually put effort because now you spent 10 grand and you're like, oh shoot, I better focus on this. But you don't treat it like this with my stuff. If you treat my stuff like you spent $10,000 mentally in it and you put the effort into it, you get the same results if you bought a $10,000 mastermind. And the difference between the two is you save 10 grand, which you can put in your marketing. I'm telling you guys, this stuff works. I run a 7-figure wholesaling operation and profit in Port St. Lucie, one of the most saturated markets in Florida. I know what I'm talking about. This is not a place from cockiness, but this is from a place where I know what I'm talking about, and I'm trying to help you guys out desperately because I needed to be the person that I wanted to be the person that I needed when I was 17 for free value content, and no one is out there. So had to be my own hero for these other people. Only mobile homes on their own. Okay. Only mobile homes on their own land or mobile homes in parks. I would say make sure they own the land. I've done deals where the land isn't owned. It's a lot more difficult and it's honestly not worth my time. So I like it when the land is owned. I've done some vlogs on mobile home wholesales and some mobile home like lease option, creative finance stuff. I've done 90% of the time on those vlogs, the land is owned underneath it. Search mobile home space flip with Rick or mobile home space Zach Ginn, it'll pop up. What are your thoughts on New Orleans as a market, and do you think Baton Rouge would be better? I think Baton Rouge is a little better. New Orleans is a little tougher, higher price point. I would stick to Baton Rouge and make sure you get the outskirts, lower price properties. If I don't have money for escrow, would you still lock up a deal? Yes. What about Mojo? I like Mojo Dialer. You get discounts with the batch dialer. I would say Mojo is really good too. Like, honestly, it's tomato. I just trust Batch because they're pretty much on top of the Trace Act, and there's got a better user interface. Mojo's still a great one. That's when I started out and there's no batch dial, there's no other like dialing service out there. Mojo was the one I used. But Mojo does have some problems. So I found batch the best one for me. Hi everyone, I'm Ron from Maryland. What's up? How are you? Haha, awesome. Thank you. Great. Thanks, Austin. Do you do a lot of texting? I do a ton of texting. Probably go down a little more with the Trace Act. Probably put it more into cold calling because the Trace Act is going more after texting, but we're going to buy a lot more phone numbers, so we're going to be putting in the limits. Appreciate you, Zach. Tom, I appreciate you. Thank you. Probably in the next week or two, I would say. How much do you use one really need to buy flicks and flips and rent them out? I would say if you're just roughly doing that, depends on the down payment, really, 20%. Or if you get hard money or private money, really nothing, right? I'm in Dearborn Heights, decent market. What's your thoughts on wholesaling in Miami? I like Miami. I think Driving for Dollars is one of the only lists that work out there, or probates. But probates are going to be attacked a lot from other agents. So Miami's a tough one. I would probably get into virtual wholesaling if I was in Miami, but I would say you could still make it work. Malik says, I found a seller with 1.2 acres for 400 grand for 400 at 410 square feet. You got to explain that a little more than me. I don't know if I'm having a brain fog or something, but 1.2 acres for $400 at $4. Oh, wait. Let me get my calculator. Oh, okay. Square foot. How to make an offer? Just offer them the price where you think a cash buyer will actually pay more for it. That's what's going on. Mahad Amir says, what's going on the Trace Act? Look at my last video. It's called Trace Act Explained for Wholesaling Real Estate. That's where I basically did the whole definition of it. Basically, it's going to make cold calling with a huge dialing obsolete. It's going to make cold calling with an insane amount of like phone numbers and stuff obsolete, and crazy SMS text blasting with like tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands a day is going to be obsolete. RVM's obsolete. Really got to get more niched out and do more cold calling with like a triple line dialer and a lot more niched out SMS. So it's not going to change it. My profit's going to stay the same. Might actually go up because a lot of wholesalers are going to quit. So that's kind of Trace Act. But in the video, I did a full explanation of it. Wayne County is probably still the best one. Best way to find buy and hold cash buyers. ListREI.com is still my favorite one out there. Actually find cash sales, cold call that list, and you'll do very well. I'm telling you, skip trace it and cold call that list. It's never failed me. Hey, Zach, can you explain the difference between a total assessed versus estimated sales price? And also, should the amount of equity be more than loan? Let me get some water really quick. Hold on. Give me a second. Okay. I get some water. Sorry, guys. Clear my throat. Hey, Zach, can you explain the difference between total assessed? So total assessed is what the county assessed the price at, usually for a lot lower than the thing's actually worth. Estimated sales price is what the actual value of it's going to be. So that's kind of the difference between the two. Zach, can you explain the Trace Act? Again, in 2 videos ago, I explained it a lot more in detail. Thank you so much for the tips. How would about a 30-second elevator pitch for someone in pre-foreclosure and probate issues, or would it be the same? It'd basically be the same as the tax delinquent list. Is you kind of, I don't know, tripped over or fumbled upon actually finding the information, and you're actually talking from there. So basically the same one. Wholesaling in LA, Riverside's way better. Yeah, Long Island, I would probably find what a cash buyer is willing to pay, especially for the land there. And then from there, I'd actually wholesale it. List REI will provide it. Jose, how big is the list though? That's more important. Is it all of Fresno or is it just the city? Just curious. Does it give you equity? Does it give you other information from it? Pretty important to know. Love how you do the lives, and we watched the whole thing till later on. They said for 1,000 you can get more info. I love how you do lives, and we watch the whole thing or later. I love how you do your lives. We watched the whole thing to later on. They said for $1,000 you can get more info. They do it like a sales pitch. Like at the end here, you go to my course and buy. I hate that stuff. I just give it for free the whole time. What does one need to during inspection period once we have a deal locked, and how much does it cost to get the house inspected and verified for a buyer? The buyer should pay it for themselves if they want to do that, but they really shouldn't. So honestly, the inspection period, there's no cost for you because you have the buyer actually going through it. Make sure you get the deal locked first. Bring the buyer through. They shouldn't be paying anything for inspection. They should do it themselves. And then from there, that's it. What does one need to do? I mean, once you get the deal locked up, you have the inspection period. Remember, man, Zach, I like your name there, Zach. What I would say is once you get the inspection period, find the cash buyer. My favorite way, again, is listrei.com, listrei.com, pull cash sales, skip trace that through smszach.com, cold call that list on the dialer, and then from there, ask them if they're looking for more discounted properties to buy. See you're buying other properties for cash, and then bring them to the property, sign an assignment of contract, go from there. Again, if you want to get my free assignment of contract or my free wholesaling contract, they're both the same. www.flipwithrick.com/contract is my free contracts. Make sure you don't get your deal stolen. So that's kind of the clauses we put in there. Tony says, when we get the list directly from the county, like you suggest, is that free? Most of the time, yes. Sometimes they want to charge you. So sometimes you don't get equity on there. So you got to be careful if you're trying to do like an equity list or something like that. But yes, usually the time you can get for free. Tax roll lists. Gian says, when you get the price out of the seller, do you usually get a ridiculous high price? If so, how do you bring them down from cloud nine in a friendly, non-argumentative way? That's a great question, man. My favorite way to do it is just find their motivation. And if there is motivation there, remember, ask the 4 pillars. Basically, I mean, the 4 pillars of most deals. This is stuff that they've been in books forever. So what I would say is get the price, get the condition, time frame, and motivation. So I always like to get the motivation. If they're not motivated, then on the next one, man. Like, that's what I would do. Have more of a conversation with them and see why they're at that price. If the motivation's there, keep talking to them, explain how you can't do that, but you could do X, Y, and Z price in that ballpark range. If they're willing to do a discount, actually build that rapport, go on the appointment, and actually get a better price in there. You are the man. I appreciate you and the content you provide. Thank you so much. Kayla says, yo, keep killing it. Oh, I will. Thanks, Kayla. I appreciate it. It's easy to find cash buyers. They are all over Facebook, LOL. I'm telling you. Yes, they are. They're all over Facebook, guys. I'm telling you. As soon as we get the seller to sign the contract, we should open escrow. Yes, I would say so. Thanks for all your info, Zach. Awesome name. My last question is, what sort of list can I get for free through my local county, just starting out so we don't have much money to work with? No issue, man. Like I said before in the beginning of this video, I would say code violations, fire damage properties, water shutoffs, credit card debt list, sub-2s, mobile homes, driving for dollars, land, tired landlords, divorce, probates, and liens. What you can get from the actual government lists or the local county would be code violations. Make sure you do the city and the county because they both have their own code enforcement offices. Go to the fire department, get their fire damage property list, get the water shutoff list, the utility list too of people not paying their electric. Go to the court system. They'll actually have this information on there. And I would say the tired landlord list get from Zillow, so not from the government or the county, and then probates and liens. Keep it up, Zach. Thoughts about targeting rent to own if you know the best source to pull them from? I would say Zillow if you can look up keywords. Zach, I've sent out SMS blasts and I haven't closed my first deal and I have no money left. Too many people doing the same list. Any advice? Niche lists. Also, try cold calling that list. If you have no money, use a Google Voice and start cold calling because you already have a skip trace list. So use Google Voice and start cold calling that list too. There's no excuse not to go out there and keep marketing. I also like is that one piece? I think it is. That's cool. I'm thinking of calling in Miami and dedicating as a full-time job since I'm a college student and have free time during the summer. Sweet. Keep it up. I've seen a few houses sold in Miami that I drove past for $200K original buying price after they're completely renovated. Yeah, go after. Start wholesaling those, man. Keep it up. I'd love to find a home subject to live in for a while and then rent it out. How do I go about it? Pull low equity list on listrei.com and then start cold calling. And that's what I would say. You're just looking to buy it. John says, yes, it is. Sweet. Last question here. Actually, we got two questions here. What is the first thing you did with your first wholesale check? I reinvested that into more bandit signs. Facebook Mastermind wholesaling group you mentioned earlier, please. Yes. So let me pull up that link. Right here on the bottom, Georgia. Hold on. There we go. Facebook.com/groups/wholesaling houses for real. Wholesaling houses for real on Facebook. Go to Facebook, search wholesaling houses for real. If you can't find it, that means I probably blocked you because you're a guru. But most of the time, if you're not a guru, you can easily be able to find it. So wholesaling houses for real. That is the free mastermind course and all that fun stuff. After I close my first deal, should I invest in marketing ads and let the people come to me? Or I'd say get into cold calling and start scaling up. Learn your skill set for wholesaling, then start delegating it out so you don't have to deal with it. So you go on appointments, find an appointment person, and then you have a scaled up business from there. So that's it, guys. That is free niche list for real estate wholesaling business. I really appreciate the support you guys been getting to the channel. Remember, get any value of it, remember, smash that like button and subscribe. I appreciate every single one of you watching these lives every single time. You guys are absolutely the best. I'm much appreciative of you guys. So grateful. You guys bless me every day with your support. So I'm just trying to give as much value as I can for free.